So good morning, good morning. Glad you guys are all here. I needed this morning. It seems like it's not this time of day yet because it's so overcast. So it's nice to have some sunshine girls in my life, whether you're here at home. So we are starting on the niyamas this week. And the first niyama is called Saucha, and it means purity or cleanliness. The niyamas are the actual definition is practices, but I like to think of it as something we would like to cultivate, or observances, healthy practices or observances. So Saucha traditionally translates to purity or cleanliness, but this one topic has a myriad of meanings and ways to help students strengthen their yoga practice. There's the surface level meaning of Saucha, cleanliness of the body and of the living space and of your car maybe. But there's also an aspect of internal cleanliness to it. We must cleanse both the body and the mind. So we all know how we feel better when stuff around us is clean. If we, we've showered, we feel better, which I haven't this morning. Yeah, maybe afterwards. But there's also, when we have all these things running around in our head, it doesn't feel good either. So it's nice to be able to clean that out. So Saucha calls us to strive for purity within the mind, body, and spirit. Saucha wants us to be free from the clutter of distraction, wants us to create internal clarity so that we can meet each moment with purpose. And now Saucha is the first of the 5 niyamas. We see how important it is to the yogic path. So the physical practice of yoga itself is Saucha, because yoga asana is meant to cleanse and purify the body. So when we use our muscles and we do twists and stuff, we actually squeeze impurities out of our tissues and organs, and it makes it easier for us to get rid of them. But then the pranayama, which is yogic breathing, and we're going to try some this morning, also cleanses things out. So when you really focus on the breath, it takes out impurities as well. So it's a form of Saucha. So yoga philosophy teaches us that these processes are a necessary form of purification and release if we want to awaken the greatness of our spirit. We practice yoga so we can create more freedom in our bodies and promote our health. We meditate to cleanse our minds and open our hearts. We practice purity in our actions as a way to remove negativity from our relationships and the external world. So I wanted to start with this Kapalabhati breath. And it's breathing through the nose, but it's really a quick breath, and your focus is on the exhale. So the inhale just kind of happens, but you forcefully exhale, and it's very quick. So it sounds something like this. And can you see how my belly moves? So it's very forceful, and you want the belly to move with that. I'm getting something on my screen here. So hopefully you guys don't see those things. I don't know if you do or not, but we'll get it out of the way. So let's start by just closing our eyes and take a big, deep cleansing breath. So take a breath in and breathe it out. And then take another small breath in and start. And then take a breath, a regular breath. And breathe that out. And just notice how your regular breath feels cleansing and clean. And then we're going to do one more round of that Kapalabhati breath. Kapalabhati breath. So take a breath in. Exhale it out. And then small breath in and start. And then go back to regular breath. Please bring hands to heart center. May we adopt Saucha, cleanliness and purity in our lives so that our mind, body, and spirit always feel ready for anything. I think we notice the beauty and the grace around us when we feel like there's not a lot of clutter in our house or in our mind. Please lower your hands up and rise. And we're going to start on our backs. So go ahead and lay down and lower these lights a little bit. So bright. And just kind of settle in on your backs. See how everything's feeling. And then stretch your arms up over your head. That feels okay. Keep a little bit of connection through your rib cage. Your ribs don't pop up. If you want, you can bring a blanket above if your arms don't go all the way, so you can just have something to support them. And then stretch your right leg a little bit longer, press the heel down, and then stretch the whole right side up through the right fingertip. You feel lots of length there. And relax the right side and switch to the left. So stretch the left leg longer, press the heel down. Switch the left arm longer. Feel a nice stretch all the way through the left side of the body. And then relax that down. Just notice how that feels now. And then go ahead and bend your knees and hug your knees into your chest. And you can hold your shins if you want to. And we're going to work on the whole, stretching the fascia on the back side of our bodies today. So, and we might do a few twists and stuff. But I want you to think of that fascia as running from the tips of the toes on the bottoms of the feet, around the heels, up the back side of the legs, around the glutes, up the back, crossing up through the neck, around the back of the head, and all the way to the forehead. You feel that whole back side. Now keep length, flex your feet, hug your heels in close and your knees in close. And then try and draw the rib cage back, the belly button towards the spine, and lift the head and the shoulders and bring your knee to your nose or forehead. Feel a nice long stretch. Maybe even lift the tailbone so you're in a little ball. And then relax back down. Now just go slow with your breath and do that 3 times. So lengthen, stretch up on the inhale, and exhale, lower back down. 2 more times. Keep the back of the neck nice and long as you do this. Good, and then pause. Just hold the right knee. Stretch the left leg long. And just kind of open the knee towards the side a little bit. Just feel a nice stretch. Your left leg's grounded. Stretch out the hips a little bit. And then with the knee in the same line as your heel, bring your right arm out to the side. You can either do T or cactus. And roll to your left hip. I like to bring my right foot on my thigh because I don't come all the way over, because my focus today is on keeping the right shoulder blade down. You can feel a curve in your back. You're doing that little squeeze thing on your internal organs when you do twists. Take a couple breaths. And then roll back to center. And we'll switch. So you're going to hug your left knee in. Bend the right leg if possible. You can keep it bent if you need to. And if you do keep it bent, just do the twist with both knees bent. Perfectly fine. And then bringing the left arm out to the side, roll to the right hip, and come into the twist. You should feel a nice stretch on the outside of the hip too, but keep the left shoulder down. And then go ahead and roll back to center. Might have to adjust. Make sure you're lined up, and then hug your knees in again. Roll up into a little ball again. So keep thinking, if I'm going to stretch the whole back side, I have to flex my feet and maybe reach up and grab the little toe side so your arm's on the outside of your knees, and you can hug up even more. Oh. And then grab behind the knees and roll up to seated. You can roll a few times if you want. Good. So come on up to seated. Keep your hands here, because we're just going to do boat pose, Navasana. So lengthen up, think really strong through the back body as you come into boat pose. So you can keep the shins parallel to the floor. Or if you're feeling stronger, you can stretch the legs and then stretch the arms, but really feel length and strength on the back body. One more breath, and then cross your legs, come to seated, and just stretch forward. And then come on up to all fours position. And a lot of us have really stiff toes, especially today, as we've been talking about all our joints, but keep your toes curled under and just use your hands to push yourself back on your heels. So it's like a child's pose. You can lower the elbows if that feels right. So we're starting toes, bottoms of feet with that stretch. And then come on up and shift forward, press through all parts of your hands and do a little wrist stretch. So come forward of your shoulders or forward of your wrists a little bit. Feel that stretch. Press the fingertips down, finger mounds down. Good. And then go back again. Stay up on your hands this time. So you're in child's pose position, but it's intense on the feet, and maybe lift the knees an inch or half inch. And then slide forward again. Yeah, you don't have to lift the knees. If it's really intense, don't do it. Slide forward again. And this time, I think rib cage is back. Maybe I'll move into a little bit of a cow pose. And then push back. We're going to do that 2 more times. So push back. If it feels good to lift your knees, you can do it. Sometimes it feels better to me because I can get more in the balls of my feet. There goes my toe crack. Good. And then shift forward. Move into a modified cow pose. So your shoulders are in front of the wrist. And one more time. Shift back. Maybe lift the knees. Somebody else cracked too. And shift forward. Is that you? Yeah. And then go ahead this time as you shift back. This is going to move into a very short downward facing dog. So you lift your knees, you lift your hips slowly up and back. And think when you get there, just notice you might have to keep your knees bent because you're in such a short position. I want you to notice how this pose stretches that whole area. So keep thinking long back of neck. You can feel it all the way up and around your glutes. Okay, now just move your feet back a little bit so you feel like it's a normal down dog, and walk it out for a moment. And if you need to, Mary, you can come on your elbows. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good variation. Just appreciate that stretch of the all the way from the toes all the way up the back around. Good. Now come forward to a plank. if you're not on blocks, or I guess you can do it on the blocks. Good. Good. And then pause there. Think strength this time. So you're not stretching that area so much as really feeling how strong it is. And then lower down to the mat. You can lower your knees first. Lower down. Stretch your toes long. Press them down. You'll notice you can press your knees down and blossom your booty a little bit so you feel like you're not scooping the tailbone. And then draw the rib cage back, the head of the arm bones back, lengthen the back of the neck, lift the head and the shoulders. And then you're going to broaden the clavicles so you feel really connected in your shoulder girdle, and lift your hands. So they're just hovering there. Lengthen all the way through the top of the head. And relax down. Pretty intense strengthening of the back side. Take a breather. Notice your heart rate. Notice your clean breath. And let's go for it again. So press the toes down, press the knees down. Feel the backs of the legs supporting you. The glutes support you, but you're not scooping as you lift. Lift the hands. This time bring the arms up to cactus and then stretch the arms out to the side. Broaden, broaden, broaden from fingertip to fingertip. Feel really connected. Lengthen through the top of the head. Back of the neck is long. Bend the elbows. Hover the hands. And come on down. I like to bring my forehead down because it feels better in my neck because you're using all of those muscles too. Remind you to keep a long back of neck because we're going to do it one more time. Press the toes down, press the knees down, rib cage back, shoulders back. Lift the head, lift the shoulders. I hover the hands, bring the arms up to cactus. Straighten them out so you're in a T. And then slowly bring them forward. You can bend the elbows if you want. Superwoman pose. Bend the elbows. Hover the hands. And bring the hands down and lower. Push all the way back to regular child's pose. Allow your breath to clean out any junk. And then make your way forward. Bring your hands forward of your shoulders. Curl the toes, lift to downward facing dog. Feel that nice stretch again, even though it's a connected stretch. Keep the arches lifted. Stretch the heels. You can walk your dog so you can identify that stretch on each side. And then slowly walk your hands back to your feet. And as you get there, you might have to bend your knees. And mostly in this position, you feel the stretch in the back of the legs and through the feet. I do. I'm really using my feet. And you can always re-straighten the legs. And so then let's add the strength of the back in. So think, okay, the sits bones stay back, but I'm going to draw the rib cage back, draw the back of the neck long, and inhale pranam. And exhale, fold with that strength. So you feel it all the way. Do that again, pranam. And fold. Inhale, pranam. And fold. Now that you've identified how much you can do all the way up and down both sides. Feel that nice stretch. And then slowly feeling that stretch, just roll up one vertebra at a time all the way up to standing. Relief, right? Find your blocks and come to the front of your mat. So blocks are on the outside of your feet. And find a nice stance and inhale, lift your arms up and come up onto your tippy toes because we're trying to get that stretch. Think of having all parts of the ball of your foot grounded. Your toes are working. You need to dance a little bit, you can. And then lower the heels, hands through heart center. Come into chair pose and think, how connected can I stay to the long back of neck, shoulder blades are broadening, back of your whole backside is hold strong, and lean forward so you're kind of hovering above your thighs, and stretch your arms back. It's like a skier pose, your ski jump pose. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Long back of neck. It's almost like you're parallel to the floor with your torso. I don't know if I am or not. Oh, I pretty much am. Can't tell unless I look at myself. Good. And then reach down, find the block, re-straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, pull. Step your right foot back to a deep lunge. And just remember the work you did with your right foot, the ball of your foot, all parts of it are grounded, the heels probably lifted high. Keep your legs, so the back of your right leg's holding you, but the back of your left leg's holding you too. And then just stretch your arms back so you're hovering above the left leg. Yeah, think really strong core. One more breath and touch down. Ooh, relief, right? Step forward. Inhale, pranam, so you remember that strength. Exhale, fold. Left foot back, deep lunge. Think of the left foot first. I always have to put a little baby bend in my knee. Really feel from the toes all the way up the back of that leg. And then think, I want the same thing with my right leg. I'm isometrically hugging it back. My hips stay square. And then I'm really using my core to hover there and stretch the arms back. Low belly draws up. And touch down. Good. Step back to a down dog on the block. You'll see why in a minute. Enjoy that position for a second. Bring your feet just a little closer. I think it works better for what we're doing. So extend the right leg. Notice how I have a little baby bend in my left leg. And I want you to feel like your hips are square to the floor. Keep the hips square, keep the back strong. Lift the foot a little higher. Flex the foot, bend the knee. Bring the heel as close to your bum as you can. Do not open your hip in this variation. You're just gonna try and use the strength of the back of your leg to squeeze as close as you can. Lift the knee a little bit higher. Good. And then go the opposite direction. So bring the knee to the nose. You'll feel your back body engaging and rounding, knee to nose, and then step it through. Woo! Helen's gone, whoa, that was way too much. Make sure you have some distance between your feet in this position. Feel the back leg super strong, front leg super strong, and just like you did before, sweep the arms back, hover, think really engage the core. Hover there for one more breath, and then see, maybe you can slowly come up to crescent warrior. Oh. Back body holding you. And then slowly fold forward, arms back, hover for just a minute if you can. If you need to, touch the block, low belly is up. Really using the strong back body, touch down. Step back, downward facing dog. And just go ahead and lower your knees and take a child's pose. Bring the hands under your forehead. Breathe deep. Just take a few cleansing breaths there. And then make your way back to down dog. Because guess what? We have another side. So feet a little closer than hip distance, just because it kind of balances you better when you extend the left leg. Baby bend in the right knee. Feel the back body supporting you. Lift the foot a little higher. Armpits are hollow, broadening of the clavicles, back of the neck, super engaged. Flex the foot, bend the knee, hug it in. Try not to let your left hip get higher than the right. Really strong back body as you lift the knee a little higher, squeeze it in. Good, and then go the opposite direction, round. Bring knee to nose. Just go slow so you can really feel the length and the strength and step it through. Whew, good job. Set up, you know where we're going. So your hips stay square. Think, engage the back body, engage the legs, the right leg especially, hover the arms back, and then think, can I keep everything long and strong as I stretch up, crescent. Heel lifted, front heel strong. Use your back body as you slowly come back down and touch down. Step forward, Uttanasana. Wait for your next breath and pranam with that strong back feeling. And fold. One more time, pranam. And fold. And then inhale, bend your knees, push into your feet and come all the way up. Stretch your arms up, come up to tippy toes. Sometimes you just have to work out a little bit, dance a little bit. Good, lower the heels, hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Just find some cleansing breath. Notice your heart rate, your blood sending lots of oxygen around, taking out toxins. It's amazing how your body works to clean. Open your eyes, stretch your arms. See about tippy toes one more time. Lower the heels, lower the hands. Come down to Utkatasana, chair pose. And fold forward. And just for fun, bring the blocks forward, turn the toes out, come down to a deep squat or variation of it if that doesn't feel good for your knees. And even here, think strong back body. I just want to stretch out that fascia. So maybe I'm going to round a little bit and just feel a nice stretch. And then come on back up, forward fold, straighten your feet out, blocks by your feet. And step your right foot back to that deep lunge position. Go ahead and lower your back knee, hug to the midline, and come up to Anjane Asana. I just want you to feel a nice stretch on the hip flexor, the quad of your right leg. Good, touch down. Lift the back knee. Make sure you have width. Hover the arms. Think back body strong as you come up crescent. We're not going to hold it very long. I want you to lean forward, hands to heart center. And maybe take a baby step forward with your right foot. Think strong back body as you lift the leg, come to warrior three. Should have had you move your blocks forward. Your block. And you don't have to lift the leg. You can just kind of play with it. That's where you're at. Lower the back foot for a moment, step it forward, and then see if you can come upright. Lift the knee and bring it back down. Whew. Stretch the arms up. Tippy toes if you want. Lower the heels, hands to heart center, forward fold. Pranam. Feeling that strong back body. Fold. Left foot back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Just stretching out the quad. Come up, Anjane Asana. Don't forget your back body though. Feel how the backs of the legs support you to stretch out the front of the leg. Touch back down. Lift the back knee. Find your strength and length. Hover the arms. Come up, crescent. Lean forward. Put your blocks in front of you. Hands to heart center. Take a baby step forward with your back foot and then come into warrior three. Back body strong. That's what we're after. Length, back of the neck helps you. Good, touch the foot down, come upright, and then see about lifting the knee, woo, and coming down. Woohoo! Good job. Okay, I want to teach pose that we haven't done for a long time. It's called baby dancer pose. And it's a challenging one. So you might want to go by the wall because the wall is really nice to have that support if you need it. I'm going to try it without the wall, see how it goes. But here's the deal. You have to keep back body strong and long. And I'm going to have you, so your palm moves to the outside, thumb up. So everyone's standing on the right foot. You're going to bend the left foot and see if you can grab on the inside of the foot and then hug that foot in and kick it back. And then you can add the right arm, hug that in, and then just go slow, move the knee back a little bit, the torso forward, knee back, torso forward, keep back body strong, and just see where it takes you. Kick the foot in and back. Whew. Nice. And come on out. It's fun to play with these poses. Okay, switch sides. So rotate arm out. Thumbs pointing back, palms out. Bend the knee, find the foot. Hug it in, add the arm. Think really strong back body. Kick it back to see where it takes you. Strong back of leg. Come on out when you're ready. And come on. Yee-hee. Kind of fun to play with them. Wall's always nice too. Come up to the front of your mat. One more sun salute, and then we'll move on to something else. So that hopefully stretched your quad. Inhale, stretch your arms up if you want to, tippy toes. How do those prima donna ballerinas do it? Good, lower the heels, hands to heart center. You can use blocks here if you want to for a forward fold. Long and strong back body. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Use back of leg, back of body, back of neck, all the way through the head. One more time. Pranam. And step back to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. And lower to the mat. Inhale, stretch the feet down. Remember what we did in Shalabhasana, but this time you just get to come to Cobra and hold it and think, oh, this feels so easy and great. Lengthening everything out. One more breath. And lower down. Good. You can push up through a push-up to Chaturanga, to down dog, or just push back to that child's pose with your toes curled to get to down dog. Rib cage is back. Really utilizing all of your resources to feel a nice stretch. Good. One more time. Forward to plank. Lower to the mat. And pause there. I'm going to have you, this might be awkward to get into, and it may not even work for you. So if it doesn't work for your hands to reach your feet, you're going to bend your knees and roll to the side until you can find your feet, or just keep your hands in Cobra with the knees bent, and you can do it this way. So if you're finding your feet or your ankles, find them. Flex the feet a little bit so you can feel that stretch, and then you can always stretch them straight, but you have that connection. And then think long side body, rib cage back, shoulders back, broadening, lengthen the back of the neck, lift the head, lift the shoulders, kick the feet back, maybe even lift the knees, Dhanurasana, goal pose. And release. Hands in the forehead. Notice your heartbeat now. You stretch pretty much every muscle in your body with that one. And utilize. Strengthen, lengthen, and utilize. Let's do it one more time just because it felt so good. And remember, you can just do Cobra hands and use the backs of your legs to lift like that too. If the grabbing the feet doesn't work for you, find the feet. Go for it when you want. Think long back of neck. Really engage the back body, back of legs, kick the feet back, lift up, lift the knees. Yeah, she's so happy to be. I'm sorry. Should have closed that upper door. Good. One more breath. And release it. Go ahead and push all the way back to child's pose. Around the opposite direction. I'll take her up. You can't sit down here, Abby. I know. Yeah, you're just mad at me today because I wouldn't give her more food when she already had food. She's not real fond of her cat food right now. Go ahead and come on up to seated. And you can sit on your blanket. So we're getting there, everyone. Stretch your legs out in front of you. And the reason I want to include this pose is it's Paschimottanasana means intense stretch of the back side or of the west side. So since that's what we're doing today, I thought we better include it. Make sure your legs are inner spiraled. Flex the feet, press the heels down. Feel your back body engage. Even though you keep a little curve in the low back, you can really still feel connected. And then just fold over your legs to a spot where it feels like a good stretch. It's okay to round the upper back. It's actually okay to round the low back a little bit too. In this position, it happens, but I want the stretch to feel like it's equally in your legs and your back. So don't go so deep that you can't feel that. Good, and then come on, back up. Go ahead and lay on your back. Bend your knees, feet flat. And just a little Setu Bandha. Even though you did that in Dhanurasana, I want you just folded forward. So let's do a little back bend again, but think of lifting with that strong back first. So feel the curve in your low back. The rib cage is back. The shoulders are back. And then press into the feet. Use the strong back of legs to lift. And feel a stretch in your belly muscles, in your heart area. Maybe you'll have to lift the chin to feel that long back of neck. That feels super good. And then lower back down. Bring your right ankle across your left thigh. Lift your left leg, interlace behind the thigh if you want, just to stretch out the right hip. The more you engage the core, the more you'll feel a good stretch on that hip. And then unwind and switch, left ankle over right. Lift, interlace if you'd like. Either behind the hamstrings or in front of the shin if you're able to do that. Feels really good on my hip. And then unwind. Bring your feet wide, arms in cactus, and just do a few windshield wipers. Allow gravity to help you here. And when you're evened out, bring your knees up. Stretch the knees into your chest. Bring the feet up towards the ceiling. Arms on the inside of the knees so you can reach in front of the shin and come to happy baby pose. And just kind of roll around a little bit. Feel a nice opening. And then just let go of your feet, stretch them straight up. Your arms are still up, and shake everything out. And go ahead and stretch out for Savasana. If you feel the need for any other stretching, you can do that. Ooh, now just thinking of your back body again. You start at your toes. Relax the toes and the bottoms of the feet, your heels, backs of your ankles, your calves. Let everything fully relax. Then holding a lot of muscle tension there and energy. So just let them go. Backs of the knees, hamstrings, glutes, low back, middle back. Right, that space between your shoulder blades that you worked so hard. Shoulders, backs of the shoulders, back of your neck. And then up around the back of your skull, your scalp. Really soften your forehead. Relax your eyes in the sockets. Soften your cheeks and your jaw. Soften the front of your neck, your chest, your belly. The quads, the knees, shins, tops of ankles, feet. Allow your mind to rest on your breath. Knowing that you've done a lot of internal cleaning with this practice. Feel comfortable in that rest. Beginning to notice your breath. Take a nice, deep, cleaning breath, cleansing breath. You feel that cool air just move all the way down. And let it go. Notice how clean the air coming in feels. And how you're able to get rid of other things on the exhale. Begin to move in small waves. Ready, you can start to move a little more. Draw your knees in. Roll to the right. Please push down up to seated when you're good and ready. I'd like to share a few words from Marianne Williamson. I do not seek peace for myself alone, for I am not alone in the universe. May God's mantle of peace be placed upon me and extend through me to bless the world. God's greatest gift to me is a calm in my heart. Within that calm, may I find wisdom. Through my wisdom, may I find my strength. And seeing my strength, may others find a strength within themselves. Just bring hands to heart center. Thanks for being my clean friends, cleaning friends. Namaste. So now you're going to feel like going home and cleaning out your closet, right? Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you guys at home, hopefully it felt good to you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.